Hey, y'all. You're listening to Definitely Not For Everyone with your girl, Nicolette. Diana has a concussion. She won't be with us today, but we are here today with Meagan Farrare.
Ferrer.
Ferrer. My apologies. Yes. You are, well, I found you on TikTok. You are on my list of people that I needed to check out.
Wow.
I know, right? You are a wife, a mom. You're also an executive pastor. Is
Yeah.
that correct? Okay. And you are the co-owner of AFrose,
Yes.
right? And on TikTok, it's called the AFrose.
Yes.
Right.
All social media at platforms, it's the AFrose.
Okay.
And then our website is afroseart.com. So
I love it. I love it. So I can only speak for myself.
okay.
But TikTok, like it made life a little bit easier. The pandemic hit, everything was going on, shit was real traumatic. Am I allowed to curse? Because you're an example. Okay. And I had just begun watching TikTok, and I really felt like it just kind of made things feel good. I felt happier about it. And yes, my daughter is here and she's like, that's because of me, Ma. And it's true. She's the one who encouraged me to go on TikTok and watch TikTok. You were one of the people that were on my For You page. And it was probably because like I love art and all of that stuff. And I was getting into it myself. So I wanted to bring you on to really say thank you for making my life brighter and happier and getting my creative juices flowing as well. So thank you.
Because I can definitely attest to how TikTok has been almost like a breath of fresh air during the pandemic. I mean, so much so you have to like limit yourself because you will find yourself on there and you're only supposed to be scrolling for a couple minutes and 2 challenges, a couple dances later, a couple like mom hacks, life hacks that you're trying to do in your home, and you look up, it's 5 p.m. You ain't no laundry, vacuum not a nair floor. So yes,
kids are going crazy around the house. Yes.
Kids raising themselves. Kids raising.
It is so true though. So usually how I like to begin our conversations before we get into like some of the questions that I have for you. Usually I like to kind of give the audience an idea of like who we are. Some people don't feel comfortable necessarily like defining themselves, which is totally cool. But if you'd like to just share like maybe how your day went today, like how you feeling today?
Okay.
Or you want me to go first? You want to go first?
You go first and I'm going to follow your lead.
Okay. So I'm going to do a little bit of defining and a little bit of feeling. And people know me, well, at least my listeners know me. I'm half Japanese, half Black. I grew up in New York, Brooklyn. I got 2 babies. I don't talk to my father because he's an asshole. I love my mama. She lives with us. My daughter is here. She shouldn't have heard that part. You need to go to your room. Thank you so much. How I'm feeling today was a good day. I'm also a massage therapist. I love what I do. And I was able to work on a client today and she was feeling all relaxed, which makes me so happy. And I'm most of all feeling really blessed and thankful that you said yes to come on to the show.
Wow. Okay. Well, that is awesome. So I am Meagan Farrare. I am Puerto Rican and Black. And I am a wife and a mother of 3. I have an 11-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 2-year-old. Though the 2 younger ones are boys. I'm outnumbered by men. My husband and I, we are pastors. And I started getting into art about 2 years ago. And today has been pretty busy. I have about 6 pieces that need to be done for an exhibit at the end of this month. So, yeah.
That's so exciting. I did notice that. I saw that on Instagram, right? For Black History Month, right?
So
You're going to be.
we moved it because the pandemic, we kind of wanted to ensure that people could come, but it still be safe. And so we're going to do it the first Friday in March.
Oh, nice. Nice. That's exciting.
Details. Yeah, I'm excited.
Well, congratulations on that. Um, so I wanted to head into the questions and
Mhm,
what I ask everybody really.
mhm,
And the thing that interests me most is like, what's your background? How did you grow up?
mhm,
What were
mhm.
your parents like? Did you have siblings? Was high school horrible like it was for me? You know, like
Got you. I'm down. I'm down for the cause.
so tell me,
Okay.
how was your growing up years?
So growing up was pretty good. I don't have any complaints for the most part. Um,
Mm-hmm.
my mother and my stepfather, they married when I was 9. And so even though I knew my dad and had a relationship with my father, my stepdad was more of like the fatherly, where I got all of my wisdom from. I believe that a lot of my creativity and my ability to work with my hands came from him. Growing up was great. When I went to college, my mom and my stepdad divorced. And that kind
Aw.
of like rocked my world. Most of the time, you think that divorces affect younger children. But for me, I was the oldest of four. And it hit me the hardest. I mean, I was away at college. I felt like when I came home, I didn't have a home because it was like my parents were split. It was messy. It wasn't like
Oh.
I mean, it was a typical messy divorce. Like nobody was talking. It was bad. So
Mm-hmm.
I joined the military. That was my way of getting out. And then when I joined the military, I was like, I'm getting married because I'm not coming back to this. Okay. I was like, I got to find me somebody. We're gonna get married. I think good streets. I love God. I'm gonna find me a man that love God. And if he's not all that cute, it's okay because we gonna love God together, okay? And it's gonna come. Well, that turned out to be an epic fail. He loved God and then turned out to be the worst. So, at 22, I moved back home to Delaware, and I was still in the military. Um, Raised my daughter. She's 11. I met my husband in 2015. He slid in my DMs on Facebook, just asked a question about a women's ministry that I had, and that was on March 3rd of 2015. We were married in November of the same year, so we just knew. Yeah. So that kind of brings you up to where I am now and what kind of defines me. I think the divorce really made me appreciate family even the more and want my children to grow up in a home where they don't have to really go through that.
And
If
yeah, no,
go ahead.
it totally, yes, it totally makes sense. Um, and like, what's life like right now for you?
So life is busy. I must say it's busy. So like I said, my husband and I, we started a church a little bit of a year ago, and it's going great. We've been doing great things in Claymont, Delaware.
How do
I
you start a church? Like,
very
and then how
yeah.
do you say, before you even start a church, how do you say, I'm gonna start a church?
So actually, when I went to college for ministry, so I always knew that
Oh,
but my idea in college was I was going to travel and preach. I didn't want to be a pastor because it was so hands on. And then as I got older and I matured, I started to like people and love to see them go on this journey. So, yeah, so we've always been in ministry, both my husband and I. And it was just more so the call out to just really just launch out and really do it. And so we did a year ago in
wow,
Claremont, Delaware.
congratulations.
Thank you.
And so, how has that been going so far? And it's been
It's
hard during the pandemic, right?
a bit of a challenge because of the pandemic. A lot of the things that we wanted to do, we've had to become creative on how we actually accomplish them. So, like, around Easter. So, figure the pandemic hit around March. But we had this big Easter egg hunt plan for the whole community. And we even had it set up so we had like a special needs Easter egg hunt and then a regular Easter egg hunt. And so then we had to do a socially distanced Easter egg hunt where we actually went to the people's houses and hid the eggs in their yard for the
Oh,
kids. be apart. So it's been difficult as far as coming together, but it's also been creative and great for us to be able to get out into the streets and into the community for people who may never come to church. And that's cool. You may never come to church, but if I bring Jesus to you and you find him, that's my job is done. You don't have to come to my church. I don't care about that. I just, want you to go to heaven. That's it.
So you're like a new finagle kind of pastor, because most pastors want you to come into the church and, sit down and gives the donations and all of that stuff.
So the thing is, Jesus didn't have a church. Like, think about it. Like, when he went around, he just had people and outside, and that's so. Like, that's our focus. Like, you know what? I don't care if you come here. I just want you to come to Christ and to know all of the great things that he has. And if, hey, you like me, you like my husband, and you think we got something going on, come on and join us. But if not, our job is done.
See, I love that because I went to Catholic school for a really, really
Okay.
long time, like from first grade to eighth grade. I did not
Gotcha.
enjoy it at
Mm-hmm.
all. It turned me off very much to religion. And
Mm-hmm.
then, hearing stories from friends too. Like when you say that story, then, other people start talking like, yeah, I went to a Methodist church and I and it was the same feeling of not feeling like it was a community necessarily, but we were there to give money, or that everything was really, you say one thing, but you really mean another thing. And people are doing all this stuff on the side, but they're not really following the word,
Right.
So I've become more of a spiritual person. Like I believe in God. And I
Mm-hmm.
really like what you're saying about, like, it's not about, that means a lot to me, basically. And only from my own personal history that you are able to be like, yo, you don't have to come to my church, but I'm gonna bring it to you. Like I can really respect and appreciate that.
I'm glad. And the reason being is because it's, like I said, it's going to be people who will never come to church, but they'll remember how you treated them. They'll remember, it's crazy because the homeless people in our community know me and my husband. They're like, oh, that's Pastor Terrence, like, hey, I know them. They talk to me. And it's because we're not there to judge you. Listen, that's not my place. I don't have a heaven or a hell to send in anyone to. I'm trying to make it in myself,
Right. Oh, I
So
love that. I might join your church. That sounds good.
come check us out.
How did, like, I know you said 2 years ago you began doing your art. That sounds like it's about the same time you started the church too, or is that like a year apart?
Year later, the
Okay.
church was, so, well, it was like in the planning process. We hadn't launched yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I get some backdrop. So growing up, I've always prayed for, like, God, give me like creative ideas and witty inventions. Like, I want to be able to do something different, right? But it was always like a prayer that I've heard people pray, but I never experienced that, right? So, um 2 years ago, my husband had bought me a Cricut machine, and I had got it just to be able to do t-shirts because it was like a side hustle. When I had Deuce, who is my 4-year-old, I got out of the military, so I was like, this to help me bring a couple extra change in the house. I didn't have to carry. My husband didn't have to carry the weight. Well, the machine sat in a box for a couple months, honestly. And one of my friends had moved into a house and she said, hey, I want some decor for my daughter's bedroom. I'm like, girl, don't be spending no money. Let me make this stuff for you. I got all this. I can make all of what you need. So I made her like a little shadow box that had a Mickey Mouse made out of paper flowers. So that night I went to bed and I literally dreamt of an afro made of roses, like the same kind of paper flowers. So the next morning I woke up and totally forgot about the dream, went on about my day. And I was just sitting on the couch, and my sister, my baby sister, who she lives with us, she's 20. So she was sitting across, and I was like, I had a dream last night. And she was like, yeah, what was it? And I told her, I was like, I had a dream about an afro made out of roses. And she was like the roses you did yesterday? And I was like, yeah. She's like, that would be dope. Let's do it. So we literally hopped off of the couch, went to Michael's, got a couple like papers that we needed, some cardstock papers, and made it. And it took about 14 hours. So it was probably after midnight when we finally got done, and I was getting ready to post it on social media. My grandma was like, because I also take care of my grandmother. Like I said, I'm busy. She's 81. Pray my strength. And she's like, baby, don't put that on the internet. I'm buying that. So we ended up buying the first piece before we could ever put it anywhere. So we
Wow.
made another one, and that one sold just as fast. So that's how AFrose was birthed. And then um we again year like we were in the process of starting the church at that time. So when we first launched the church, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna give this my all as far as planning the church and launching it. So I'm gonna put AFrose on the back burner for a little bit. So during that time, my sister and I we kind of came together, and she was like, you know what? Like I have other things going on. I really can't give AFrose my heart and attention right now. So I'm just gonna give you the baby back, and you can run with it. So it's just been me for a while, but I'm just trying to get my feet wet in this art industry and see how it comes. I've been blessed. I mean, I gave a piece to Wendy Williams.
Yes, I know I was gonna say that.
Yes, like I literally called the show and I was like, "Hey, I just wanted to give Wendy a gift. Can I come?" They was like, "Yeah, we'll give you tickets to a show." And so it
That's
was
so
so smart,
cool.
and she ended up putting us on her YouTube after show. So it was cool. That was dope. I just gifted a piece to Tabitha Brown, one of the vegan influencers. So just trying to get it out there.
Yes, you have to gift Will Smith, the Fresh Prince. You
So
need
I have Will Smith. I've been trying to mention Will Smith. So Will, if you're listening out there,
to.
I have something for you, sir.
Because it's dope. I really love that one.
Thank
That
you.
one is so dope. So I remember we were talking earlier today, and you were talking about your art skills.
Yeah, so that's why I said, how, like I said, it was a prayer about a creative idea and a witty invention. Because listen, I suck at anything art. Like when it comes to like drawing, I don't even have good handwriting. Okay. And so, I mean, you might get a mean stick figure. I mean, a mean one, with the little triangle as a skirt at the bottom. Like, that's as far as you're gonna get out of me. Me and my sister laugh about it all the time. Like, we can't draw for nothing. The last time I picked up a paintbrush was probably fifth grade art. I didn't even. But so it's got to be God, because I'm telling you,
Yes.
I don't know where it came from.
And then what led you to go on to TikTok? Like, so I know you share your life and stuff and things that are going on Instagram, but like what was the transition with like going on to TikTok and like sharing, what you're doing and the kids, and like what made you be like,
So TikTok, my daughter was like, you should go on TikTok because they like seeing things being made and orders being packaged. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. And honestly, one picture that we had did for a little girl, I like my TikTok is my family is small there. It's only like 300. I'm very new on there. And I was doing a picture for a little girl that had cancer, and I had just did a video of them, a time lapse. And I posted it and I got off. Went, cooked dinner, went on about my day. So my daughter runs down the stairs. She's like, "Mom, you got 4,000 views." And I'm like, "What?" I literally had like 98 followers at the time. And
wow.
when I woke up the next morning, it was like at five. I think it was like 5,000. And I just was like, wow. So I just been, of course, ever since then, TikTok ain't been showing me no love, but
That is the same thing I keep hearing. Everybody's like, yeah, I get like 10,000 views one time. And then the next day it's at 2.
I'm
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
posted a video
crazy.
today and I was like, all right, because I seen somebody's video and they said post and get off. Don't keep scrolling, because then
Mm-hmm.
that they're not gonna put it on the For You page because they want you to have to come back or something like that. So yeah, 2 views. 2.
Damn.
It's hard
I,
out here in
I
TikTok
might
street. I don't think we're young enough. Is
have.
that I don't know, maybe I'm not dancing. Maybe I gotta do it.
You got to get them babies to dance with you too. That'll really get them.
I don't know. Mm.
So this is my last question, I think. I might have another one, but this is my last one so far.
Here.
So like what's next to come for you, just in general? Not only AFrose, but just like overall.
So let's see. Um, I have a lot of different things that I want to do. I'm a very busy person. Like I said, I've done everything. Like I've had a podcast.
You
I wrote,
have?
yeah, I wrote a book. See, here's the thing. See, I like this because I can see your face. I
Yeah.
don't really into my podcast because I don't have the attention span to listen to somebody I can't see their lips moving. My ADD kick in. I'm all over the place. Like I'm over this. So the fact that I can see you, it's fun for me, but it wasn't fun just listening to people. Mm-mm. So yeah, so I don't know. So going forward, I want to write a couple more books.
What was your last book about?
So my last book, I had her little black book of prayers. So you think about, you got a little black book, it got all your phone numbers to call when you're having a bad day, you're having a rough day, you got so and so for this, you got a creep joint, a side joint. Your little black book got all your little secrets in it. Well,
Yes.
I did a flip on that, and it's just your little black book of prayers. So it's a topical prayer book about being married, being divorced, being a single mom, being it anger management, procrastination, all the things that women we would deal with. Just has like, prayers, and then afterwards it has like scriptures in the Bible where you can kind of reference, kind of say over yourself to feel better.
That's so cool. I like that. So people can get that on Amazon?
Yeah, it's on Amazon, her little black book of prayers. So it's definitely there.
I love that. Oh, that's so cool. So what are the next couple of books you're thinking about?
I don't know. My husband keeps pushing me to write one for wives. I don't know. I just feel like when you start talking about marriage, the devil start testing your marriage, and we doing good. I love him. We five,
That's so
5, 6 years in. I still get butterflies when I see him, and I don't want
Aw.
daughters. You know, That's it.
Yes. No, that's true. That's very true. I definitely do agree with you on that one. And
Yeah,
especially when you start talking about how good your relationship is too. That's when,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, things start
I got
happening.
kids, my little ones. So I don't know. I really want to focus on making sure that they're good. The church is good. Like I said, I got my grandmother. I
Yes.
think
Can you tell me about your grandma?
my grandmother she's 81,
Hmm.
and growing up, I spent a lot of time with her. And so she got sick about 2 years ago. And she's like, I was just like, you know what? It's too much for me to be driving with these little babies to come check on you, to get out the car, to come up to your apartment. You're just going to move in. So she's been with us for 2 years. And yeah, so we're a household of 7, girl. In the
Wow.
pandemic. We tired of looking at each other.
How has it been though? I'm sure those babies love having
So
that would be their great grandma.
yeah, so they knock on her door for treats. She was giving them marshmallows all the time, so I had to buy her batch of crackers because you're not gonna be giving my kids marshmallows at 9 o'clock in the morning. It just don't work out like that. So they go to my mom's to get snacks. They knock on her door, and yeah, so it's been a blessing. Definitely been a.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I feel that way. My mom does the same thing, giving them ices at 8:30 in the morning. Lady,
Oh, that's for us. Yeah, come
why
on.
you used to beat my ass with a
Yes,
stick
yes,
and you
yes.
giving people ices?
Yeah. My mom wonders why my kids don't get juice, they get water and a splash of juice, okay? Just a splash.
Yes. My kids don't even get that. Fuck a splash. They
I,
just get water.
food coloring, okay? Food coloring. I've done it. It works. They're 4 and 2. They don't know the difference.
That is a great idea.
So wait a minute, I have a question for you. I know you asked
Yes.
it. I have a question for you.
No, talk. Yeah.
Japanese and black. I want to
Yeah.
know what do you eat? What's your favorite kind of food?
Oh my gosh, Caribbean food.
Wait a minute.
Okay. So my father is Guyanese. He's
Okay.
he's a Caribbean black man,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
And yes, some karigo and rice, some roti,
Okay.
bus up shots. Like that's my favorite food. That's the food that I crave, that my tongue
So what
craves. Huh?
does your mom cook?
Curry.
Wait, ain't your mom Japanese?
Yes, she is.
Wait, so y'all you
Yes.
don't eat Japanese cuisine either?
Sometimes like we'll have these things called they're like rice balls with like, salmon inside in the middle. It's called onigiri.
Okay.
And we'll have that, but
Mhm.
like sushi and like that kind of stuff. We'll have miso soup,
Okay. Okay. That's like
but
one of my.
oh, okay. That's about as far as we go. I know. It's weird, right? I can't help it. Because my mom, right? So my dad met my mom in Japan.
Okay.
My mom, she planned on
Was his
moving
dad
to.
still there?
No, he wasn't. People ask me that all the time. He actually was able to get an engineering scholarship to
Wow.
Japan or whatever that's called, like the overseas thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so he was there for a year. Like the last few months, he said he saw this thick, nice booty walking by. Because there's not many of those in Japan.
Right. Right.
And so he said he had to stop it. He's such a jerk. He had to stop it.
Wow.
And so they had a little fling thing because he had somebody at home.
Oh man.
And my parents are like, my mom's a cougar girl. She's like 11 years older than my father,
Mm.
right? So
Mhm.
they have a little thing, right?
Mhm.
And then he leaves, but she had already planned on moving to Brazil
Okay.
because Brazil has a big Asian, Japanese specifically community.
Wow.
So the following year she sells all her stuff. She got everything together. She sends all her stuff to Brazil. And then she's like, hey, let me go visit Clement in Guyana since I'm on my way to Brazil anyway.
See, it be the see. They be trapping. They be trapping. They be trapping. Go ahead.
Right?
Mhm.
She ain't never go to Brazil, girl, but for a visit.
Mail her stuff. Did she have to mail her stuff back?
Yep. And so my mom lived in Guyana for a pretty long time. I was born there.
Wow.
And yeah, and then we came over to the States like when I was about 5 years old.
Wow. That's,
Hmm.
that's like you've been everywhere. You've been everywhere.
Yeah, my mom was cool, yo. But look at me, you got me talking. See, you're meant to be a podcaster.
Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. Nope.
All right, Megan, thank you so much for coming on to the show. I appreciate you so much. If you could again tell the audience like how they can find you in all categories, ministry, book, everything.
Gotcha. So for the art business on Instagram and on Facebook and TikTok, it's at the AFrose. Our website is www.afroseart.com. For the ministry aspect, it's the Spring Church of Delaware. We're on Facebook. Our website is www.springchurch.info. We're virtual and in person, so no matter where you are in the world, you can always watch us. So
Hint, hint.
yes, so come on and have some fun. We're all about in and out in about 90 minutes. Get you. We're here. We come with a mission. Get you home. We don't believe in spending all day and chicken dinners afterwards. Yeah.
And your book?
So my book, Her Little Black Book of Prayers, is on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, things of that nature. So yeah.
All right, that's beautiful. Thank you so much, my love. I appreciate you so much. To my audience, thank you so much for listening. I love y'all to death. You know how I do. And we are out.
Bye, guys.